Fitz Bar says we are likely at or near the peak of where we need to be on interest rates.
Gotta update a few things here. Jesus. Good morning, everybody.
As far as saying more likely at or near the interest rate peak.
All right, let me see.
And Barr speaking on bank supervisor culture, saying that they should move with speed, force, and agility. Saying some job cuts will affect several hundred positions.
All right, so here are.
Stellantis says TLA, the company represents Stellantis.
So here are some of the updated. I think you see. Hold on a second. I posted the wrong one. I think I posted the right one. God damn it! I'm dizzy. Let's see. Yeah, this is the right one. All right, so those are some of the updated CTA flows we were discussing yesterday. Yeah, we're up above all those major thresholds, but most importantly, they still tilt bullish. And what was really interesting last night, I'm sure everybody in the steam room, you've probably seen it by now. Let me get to that. Hedge fund exposure and single names. We got an update there. That's not the one I'm looking for. Here it is. Okay. And as you can see off that picture I just posted,
Big mistake, according to
hedge funds have actually added short exposure into this rip. So on the positioning and flows side of the equation, and this all tilts to where it should keep equities bid until some of this stuff evens out. The hedge fund thing is a bit, I wouldn't say misleading, but a bit confusing because you have them crowding into that momentum quality trade, which is the mega cap names, and have been shorting the daylights out of everything else. Right? So it's not a clean cut short that we've come accustomed to. And that goes back to the point where the buying in some of these magnificent 7 names has not been off a bullish bias per se. It's been a safety trade, flight to quality, a hiding spot. All right, so anybody out there who's bullish on the economy or bullish on equities or just bullish in general, you would lean towards more of a risk-on beta trade, right? where anything economically sensitive would rally. So that's the story. Besides that, yeah, some of the sentiment survey measures we got yesterday, a little bit more bullish. That's kind of expected. So all in all, and it's never as easy as this, but you take any outside shocks that would enter the picture, you probably see more of this positioning bias in the form of a buy the dip mentality than a chase, in my opinion. And to the point that we were discussing yesterday on yesterday's webinar, I think what's a lot more interesting is going to be if we do get kind of more of a difficult upside push, right, where they buy the dips instead of chase. What are they buying underneath the hood? What names? What sectors? So that's kind of what we want to keep our eyes on, especially as we get into this week. This week, you got November OPEX, thank God. Friday's gone. It's been a noisy few weeks with earnings and OPEX. And unfortunately, this slingshot rally came right in the middle of it. Oh, what else did I see this morning that was interesting? Hold on, let me see what I got here. What time is it? 9:23. So just to get an idea, right, and why we pay attention to these CTAs and how they line up and if they're buying or selling. Over the past 10 days, CTAs have bought nearly $70 billion of U.S. equities, the largest 10-day buying that Goldman has seen on record. They're now flipping to long $17 billion. You ever wonder who's chasing these things up? Another thing we were talking about yesterday, guys, in the room for whoever's interested, I posted in market updates some charts off that scan, just a simple growth scan with stocks that are, hold on, how do I get to that? That are set up pretty decently, that have been showing relative strength and growing fundamentally, right? Kind of to the point we were talking about yesterday. Hold on, I'm lost here on my shit. I'm trying to get back. Where's market updates? How do I get to that? Oh. All right, so you can see some of the names on here. Some of them you would know. Some we saw some flowing, right? Yelp. We're all familiar with Yelp. ZS. Spot. Shop. A couple of you guys called that out yesterday in the webinar. STX. That's like a Micron WDC type name. STNE. Did you see the rip here in STNE over the last week or so? I didn't even see that. T-Mobile, News Corp, PDD, that China name, Q2, I think that's a China name as well. RCL, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. I don't know what the hell this thing is doing on here, but it shouldn't be on there. Melly, Micron, NTNX. I know quite a few people were bullish on that name. NVIDIA, of course. NAT. EDU, China Online Education name. Look at Expedia. Daktronics, I know that name. I think they make scoreboards. I think. Oh, we looked at that one, right? Amazon, ALV, I know that stock. CD, we've seen this name too, I think, a couple times. Core. Now, how do I get back to where I want to get back to? This? Yeah. That scans in the market updates channel. Everything I post pre-market, sometimes during market hours as well. Post-market, everything's in market updates.
MMD filing for a secondary 1.3 million shares. Nicholas should have ever dealt it.
Oh, another point quickly. We spoke about this too yesterday, but just in case anybody who wasn't around the past couple of days or now on the webinar, keep an eye on some of those tech names, the QQQ related names for possible weakness today, all tied to that covered call ETF. There may be, there's likely to be some selling pressure there. What kind of impact it has on the names throughout the day is a different story, but keep an eye on it.
That's daily saying that it is not certain if inflation is on track to 2%. Central bank policy debates are now centered on what constitutes sufficiently restrictive and how long to maintain that stance. Daily saying that uncertain of economic dynamics are now remnants of pandemic recovery or a new normal. Fed remains unsure about the length of policy lags as well. Fed needs to be patient, making measured adjustments, says Daly. Daly saying they have to resist pressure to act quickly when patience is now needed.
I think Daly was a dove to begin with.
Daly saying the Fed needs the boldness to wait given these uncertain times.
A big monthly expiration, so I wouldn't count on the flow being anything that resembles clean early on, especially.
Therapeutics MD, Ribera Capital disclosing their amended stake in a 13D filing at 25.7%. Hey, actually, Michael Delta.
As far as yesterday's action, a couple names, at least to even keep an eye on. FIVN, I think it was FIVN, some April buying could replace November exposure. LNG, had some half decent action. Larry Nancy Girl. How's that? Carvana puts. It could be pushing out some November put buying. Carvana puts for next week, 22.5 CVN. 7,000 traded there. Kind of rolling in the big guys as expected off the open. This is good. This is good. The Gap, they had positive reaction to earnings. Some weeklies trading there, GPS. Almost 3,900. Gap 17 calls expiring today. Traded. I should refresh this here, right? Oh, I can't refresh it? Yeah, that's right. Tesla, well, there's a same day expiration puts. Micron, nice size July sweep. Let's see what that looks like. So July 72 and a halves, opening bet, $1 million sweep. Looks clean and could replace November exposure expiring today. A nice looking order there.
Comments from Fed's Bar saying that stablecoin innovation should be allowed to happen, but within really, really clear guardrails.
Here are the top OI positions in Micron coming in today. You got a little more Tesla put activity. Again, same day expiration. What is that? Same day expiration? What the hell are they doing there? PLTR, same day expo calls. A bit active. Some Neo puts.
AT&T saying they'll create a standalone managed cybersecurity business. So creating a capital investment, saying it's a capital investment in that business will come from Will Jam Ventures for AT&T.
Walmart, little put action. November 24th, in the money, 157.5. That's in WMT. Some more Tesla puts for today. Jana discloses stake. Oh, Jana's coming out there, 13F. FSR, they've been shorting the living piss out of this thing. Put sweepers all over this thing. Frank, Sam, Robert. Chevron, April 155. Little Bullflow Morgan Stanley, MS, January calls. Now you got
Columbia Central.
ExxonMobil seeing some April call blocks going off. They're likely replacing November exposure in these energy names.
on the Amazon job cuts at Alexa, company commenting that they are maximizing resources and efforts focused on generative AI. I mean, very optimistic about the future of Alexa despite these job cuts.
Kohl's KSS seeing some bull flow. They report 11/21. You got an opening sweep in ELF, December 1st, 115s, ELF. AUPH. They buy their Jan 10s. That's a biotech name, AUPH. So some buying in a biotech, one of those speculative biotechs yesterday, IMGN. Irene Mary Girl Nancy. Some late day buying yesterday. And looks like that pot. It looks like they sold some puts there too. AUPH. So Jan 10s and 11s in the AUPH catching some action.
Or if that's the only thing, it's too soon to know whether the neutral rate has risen. Daily note at Q&A.
You got shop catching some cheap play for next week, weeklies.
A little more than 20 minutes into the trading session, stocks have come off of early lows, 45.20 in the S&P futures market, 45.06 in the cash market. The Russell 2000 standout here, nearly going up about 0.75%. Regional banks, one of the drivers there in the Russell, up 0.6% here in the early going. Seen a bit of a reversal in bond yields. They're up about 5 basis points now in the 10-year at 4.45%. The 2-year after testing 480 up 4.88%. So we've seen a bit of a bounce here in treasury yields. European equity markets remain in the green, led by the FTSE 100 up more than 1%. But bond yields across Europe also off of earlier lows.
Some of the top bets out there so far this morning. PSTG. I remember that PSTG. That doesn't look too bad, that PSTG. Seeing some March, bull flow March, 42 calls in this week. Peter, Sam, Tom, Girl. They report 11:29 PSTG. They got a couple of different sweeps there. They still got, damn it. The gap, they might be rolling some of that pre-earning stuff out. You got puts and calls there. Jan 20 calls into strength. June puts. They could be rolls though, November positions. Tesla looks like it's seeing some same day
That's the only thing that
call activity.
are still worried about elevated inflation.
Now, credit looking strong this morning. Not that there were any issues with conditions, but everything looks still risk on peachy keen. Squeezometer down a tick, 68. Even if we don't sell off and if we just hang around, the squeezometer should cool. Been hanging around for what, 3 days now? So we're down under 70. SMCI. Let's see what's going on there. Up 10. I don't know. 240s. Oh, those are deep in the money. Yeah, I don't know about that action. Tesla. Oh, these are calls again. Weekly, same day expo. Trading Tesla's like a video game these days. Zoom, that's across. That's me, Jules. Don't worry. Amazon at the highs off that headline earlier. You got volume there. I haven't seen any sweeps of note.
Advanced Auto Parts, AAP, they're delaying their quarterly filing. Recall that on the 15th, earlier this week, they reported results and announced the CFO was fired. They were also forced to cut their guidance significantly.
Damn.
Now delaying their quarterly report filing.
Wow.
Saying they've identified certain accounting errors impacting the cost of sales. Again, the CFO was fired earlier this week, so not overly surprising, but AAP delaying their quarterly filing.
That school's facing we've
Cook the
seen a
books,
strong rebound of labor supply.
Probably be a decent turnaround play at some point. AT&T, April 16th. AAP, yeah. Why, you gonna roll the dice, E-Train? Tesla, seeing a little put action mix in there again. These are for next week, though. Citigroup, Jan 45s in C.
Rules be reiterating the Fed will do whatever it takes to beat inflation.
Thanks, Wolfie. Yeah, AAP was that thing was a stud. But it's really got its ass kicked here. I mean, at some point, once the dust settles, now that they figured out the issue, I mean, the stock's been going down since the bear market started 2022. What was it, $230, and now it's 50. Whew. Square, that's bullshit. Little put buying, SPY, some same day puts. Pretty sloppy and sluggish out there. But you have a few decent looking sweeps. Elf, Micron, Chevron, AUPH. I'm sure that AUPH has some sort of data coming. Here, did I post these yet? Here's the OI changes in that IMGN for you biotech fans. I know a few of you were interested in that name. Somebody mentioned, I think, who was it? NF mentioned that it was a takeover target or chatter or some shit. IMGN.
How consumers and businesses feel about the economy.
Uber from Goolsby saying there's a big gap between the data and how consumers and businesses feel about the economy.
Seeing a little same day expo protection, Uber. The big tech names, not any real sell yet, but again, if you, what make I say, the median down day for a scenario like that, 0.7%, so a little less than 1%. All right, what are they down now? 0.5%, something like that? Not even. Oh, and they might be a little heavy today as a whole. Dollar Tree puts.
We'll be repeating that inflation is front of mind to him. We'll be acknowledging inflation is improving, but it remains too high. Echoing what we've heard from other Fed officials of late. Goolsby saying jobs and the growth rate should not be the main focus right now. Just note the Fed's Collins on a second interview here live on CNBC with Steve Leisman. Second time today we're hearing from Boston Fed President Collins.
I don't think there's anything on the momentum scanner here, is there? Nah. Got some rule. What about, maybe better if I pop this out? Oh, I gotta pop them all out individually. I see.
Collins saying there's some promising news in this week's CPI report.
That's Collins on CNBC, so there's been promising inflation news. The economy is rebalancing. And there's Collins now as well, speaking on CNBC.
Collins saying the economy is rebalancing. Collins saying the data is very noisy right now.
Collins saying the 3-month core is still too high when looking at the data.
And Collins adds that the Fed is positioned to be patient.
There we go.
Collins says I wouldn't take additional
A fungal.
Again, that's what Collins saying. I would not take additional firming off the table.
Oh, there is Cisco.
Collins saying she would not take additional firming off the table.
As Collins says, including the latest CPI data policy news.
Collins is emphasizing we must really stay the course on inflation.
You got the Russell leading this morning up 1%.
Goolsby saying we've hit the targets we expected. We will be on the path to 2% inflation.
We will be on the path to 2% inflation.
Collins saying we are seeing some good news on the shelter price inflation.
Goolsby saying housing inflation is the thing we need to keep an eye on. And separately, Collins saying that she does see some good news on shelter inflation.
Sono, Sono, Jan 12.5 in an opening bet.
Collins acknowledging there are some tighter credit conditions out there in the economy.
Nice size sweep there, Sono. I'm going to look at open interest now to see what's there. Sono, November 17.5. Those are going out worthless. November. Oh, that's part of a spread. November 22.5. November 15s. You have some November exposure there. But that's a nice size bet, worth keeping an eye on, regardless. Sono.
Google's be commenting higher rates will weigh on economic activity and supply shocks will wear off.
Obviously, that stock is a menagerie, Sono. It was suing, who were they suing? Google or somebody, some big name like that?
President Collins wrapping up an interview with CNBC's Leeson.
All right, we got about 7 minutes to 10:30 for all you out there outside of the steam room. Can we run that free trial? Well, not free trial, but trial for 2 weeks, $8. You get access to pretty much everything, all our tools, all our signals, indicators, commentary, flow, you name it. And actually, next week, probably a good week to start if you've been on the fence and want to roll the dice for $8. Now, once we get past this Expo week, we're going to get a pretty decent read on if any buying, what they're buying, where they may be rotating for the remainder of the year. Because in all likelihood, the indexes probably get a lot stickier. And all the alpha is going to be at the individual name level. So again, for 2 weeks, $8, and Matt will probably throw the link, I'm sure, before we sign off here.
Hey Jay, just 5 minute warning before we take it back to
I
5
didn't
minute
hear
warning.
anything you
before
said.
we take it back.
You broke up. I couldn't make out what you said. What did you say?
All good. I said
Hello?
5 minutes until. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you. Now I hear you.
Okay. I was just saying 5 minutes
Yeah.
until we go back to Steamroom only.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cool.
You know, I realize the emojis don't show on here. Expedia. No. Oh, never mind. I thought it was a big. By the way, Expedia had some rip these last couple of days. Off of earnings, I think. Yep. Wow. Man, a monster quarter, too. Christ almighty. What'd they do? People traveling? What's Expedia? Like booking? Like Trip, right? Yeah. I mean, that quarter was ridiculous. Is that clean, that quarter? Estimates were for like $2.80 for the quarter, similar to last quarter, and they reported $5, $5.40. Oh no, estimates were higher, $4.90. So maybe there was something involved, but they beat estimates too. It was no same day expo action that probably closes anyway that I saw.
Germany's 10-year bond yield raised its decline as it now
And that was a block besides. I don't know what the hell I'm getting all excited about. Online travel agent, huh? Yeah, a lot of these names got taken down over the threat of a recession that never showed up, and they're kind of getting re-rated here a bit. You know, even that RCL. A nice comeback. A Royal Caribbean. These things talk about elevator up. My God, it's supposed to be the other way. Escalator up, elevator down. They flipped it on us. You got a little protection in U.S. Steel. There's been takeover chatter there. for a while now. X, you got some light December protection. Oh, a little bigger. December 28th.
Russia's President Putin in Russian press saying that he does expect the Russian economy growth to exceed 3% this year.
MTVR. What is that? Resources.
Taking a look at market internals, NYC volume 23% above its 1 month average. Advancers lead decliners by 3.5 to 1. Nasdaq volume 4.
Oh shit! It's 10:30. I didn't say goodbye to the world. Did everybody leave? They left. The public.
No, we're still alive. Tell the fine folks goodbye.
Oh, I'm still alive. All right. Yeah. I lose
Yeah,
track
you're
of
still
time
alive.
after that.
We're waiting on you.
But just in case I forget again. Oh, all right. Good. Because I lose track. You know me. Everybody out there again. 2 weeks, $8. Nice spot to try next week. All kidding aside, I'm not the best salesman in the world, but things should improve flow-wise and probably more of a stock picker's market. That's where flow is at its best. Otherwise, everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out in the mornings. And good luck the rest of the way.